Okay, so today I'm going to be checking out probably the most famous food court in the UK right now. It was opened by a famous YouTuber, so you can probably guess which one it is. But if not, it's the Rate My Takeaway Kitchen in Huddersfield. And apparently it's supposed to be pretty good. So let's go check it out and see what it's like. You know what? I think I'm going to say it. I don't think the barriers are an issue for me anymore. Okay, and I've made it to the platform. I'm travelling from Leeds again. I did say the barriers are not an issue anymore, but I think the trains still are. The train's delayed by about 4 minutes.
Very good morning everyone and welcome on board. This is your 10 o'clock service to Liverpool Lime Street, calling at Huddersfield, Stalybridge, Manchester, Victoria, Lee Green and finally Liverpool Lime Street.
And I've made it to Huddersfield. The train was eventually delayed by over 5 minutes, but I made it in the end. Okay, so the Rate My Takeaway Kitchen is located in the Packhorse shopping centre, which I think is pretty close to the train station. So let's have a look around and see if we can find it. Okay, and here it is, the Packhorse shopping centre, meet, eat, play shop. I think I'm going to be doing 2 of those today, so let's head in and check it out. Okay, so which way to the Rate My Takeaway Kitchen? Rate My Takeaway Kitchen. I think I found it. Let's head up and see what they've got on offer. Rate My Takeaway Kitchen. It looks like all of these are the different food vendors. Got a rice and noodle cafe. Let's have a look and check out. I think I'm going to go from this side and then walk down to the other and see what they have for sale. So it looks like this place is called Chow, which looks like it's an Asian street food place. Got some seating down here. Looks like a bar area, some more seating, and maybe some places that haven't opened yet over there. Moving along, like I said, I'm pretty early, so I think some of these places are not even open yet. We've got a Wingerding, which is not open. I'm here about 11:05. We've got a place called Huya, which I think sells burgers. We've got different burgers available. and deals. Got Bobby's salt and pepper, which, yeah, it's different salt and pepper flavoured treats. Got this place called Birria Boyz, which I think is tacos and Mexican food. We have Jay's Desserts. Again, I'm guessing it's a dessert place. And then Pizza, which sells pizzas. But there you have it, the Rate My Takeaway kitchen. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is get a selection of food from the different vendors and try them out. I'll see you back at a table. Okay, and I have ordered and I have received my food, and this all looks delicious. Got a little bit of a sample from two different places, two different mains, and I think I'm going to go for a dessert after. But let me show you exactly what I got because it looks delicious. Okay, so this is the meal that I got. Have a look at those tacos. So I went to Birria Boyz for these two beef tacos with chips and a dipping sauce. And then I went for a Bobby's salt and pepper box number 3, and check that out. Got loads of different salt and pepper flavoured items that I can't wait to dig into. So let's try it out. Right, let's start off with the Birria Boyz and go in for some of these chips. So you get a huge portion, there's absolutely loads here. And check out the chips. So they're spiced with maybe some chili flakes, paprika maybe, but look delicious and feel crispy. Let's go for a bite. So that is a bit of an unusual chip spice. It's a little sort of sour when you bite into it. So it's a little salty, a little peppery, a little spiced, and then sour, which I think kind of helps to cut through the fried goodness of the chip. Now let's try them out dipped into this sauce. I'm not totally sure if this is supposed to be for the chips or the tacos, but it's quite thin, but it still does coat the chips. It looks delicious. Let's go for a bite. Okay, so either way, if it's meant for the chips or not, it goes well with it. And it's a little spicy too. You can feel the kick in the back of your throat, but it does add a bit of nice moisture and spice to the bite. Next up, let's try out these beef tacos. Now have a look at the size of that. Crispy and golden brown on the outside. You have cheese in the middle, big pieces of beef. There's going to be some veg in there as well, but I can't wait to try this, so let's go for it. Okay, so that is a tasty taco. Check out the inside of that. So you've got big chunks of beef in there. You have the cheese, which adds that creaminess. The beef is meaty. You definitely get the beef flavour. You have some coriander, some onion, and then a taco on the outside. It's crispy and crunchy. But I think it really needs to be dipped into this sort of a saucy dip, which I think is meant to go with the tacos. So let's dip it straight in. Getting it all over the table. Let's go for a bite of this. You know what I think this sauce is? I think this is the broth that the beef might be cooked in, because it tastes meaty and it's kind of spicy and beefy too, and it goes perfectly with the taco, especially when you dip it in. You know what might be a good combo here? If I put some of these chips with that sort of soury spiced seasoning on the outside. So put it into the taco there, and then maybe the drizzle of this beef broth. Now this is going to be the ultimate bite. Here it goes. The sour seasoning of these chips really do go well with this whole meal, because because they cut through the fattiness and the oiliness. Because this taco is filled with meat, cheese, it's baked on the outside, you've got the deep fried chips. So then when you have that slightly sour seasoning there, it kind of balances out the bite and goes really well with the tacos. Right, let's move on next to this Bobby's salt and pepper box number 3. Have a look at the size of that. I don't know if you saw the size of the Birria tacos box, but that is absolutely massive too. Let's try out one of the chips from the Bobby's salt and pepper. So there it is, a lot bigger and thicker than the Birria Boyz ones. You can feel the seasoning on the outside, the salt and pepper seasoning. You have some spring onion with it. Let's just go straight for a bite. So that is some good salt and pepper seasoning there. So as you can see, you get the salt and pepper flavour, but it's a little sweet too. And then you get the onion flavour. And then if you combine it with the crispiness of the chip and the soft fluffy potato on the inside, it's a really, really well seasoned chip. Okay, I'm so engrossed in eating this meal that I forgot to tell you exactly what's in this box number 3. So you get some king prawns right there, 4 big huge ones with some sesame on top. You get some big pieces of salt and pepper chicken, get some noodles on the bottom and chips as well. So a pretty good deal. Let's try out next one of these chicken bites. Now to me, chicken bites were these small little cubes, kind of like popcorn chicken, but this is like a whole chicken breast bite. Let's go for a try of this. Okay, so that is some tasty chicken. And have a look inside there. Nice white pieces of chicken breast meat, cooked perfectly. It's a little juicy. You get a good crunch from the outside, and then that great salt and pepper seasoning. Really delicious. Next up, let's try out some of these salt and pepper king prawns. Check out the size of that. Got some noodles stuck onto it, but again, it feels crispy, and I can't wait to try it. So let's go for a bite of this. That salt and pepper prawn is delicious. Check that out. So you got the prawn in the middle, you get the batter on the outside, it's a little crispy, you have that great seasoning on there, and maybe a bit of a sweet glaze too. The texture of the prawn is bouncy, not overcooked. In fact, I think it's perfect. And then the sesame seeds add that bit of nuttiness to the bite. And since we've got the fried noodles with this box, I need to go in for a try of those. And I'll check that out. They look nice and moist, juicy. Let's try them out. These are some great noodles. They're soft, a little springy, and they have a sweet glaze on them. So when you bite into it, you get that explosion of sort of a salty, sweet flavour. This food is so delicious that I just have to go straight in with the combo bites. So this first one is a salt and pepper chicken with salt and pepper chips and that great seasoning on the outside with some spring onions. Here it goes. The salt and pepper seasoning, again, is just so delicious. Let's move on to the next one. We've got the fried noodles with king prawns. Here it goes. Okay, so they did tell me that box number 3 was the most popular, and I can see why, because everything in it is delicious. And I've got the ultimate combo bite of box number 3. I've got the salt and pepper chicken, the sweet glazed battered prawns, you've got the salt and pepper chips, and the fried noodles. Here it goes. These two dishes are amazing on their own. I don't know how I can combine them to make an ultimate combo. Let's give it a go anyway. So I've got the beef tacos. I'm going to put on some salt and pepper chips and make a salt and pepper chip and beef taco. Here it goes. Right, let's finish up with this and I'll get some dessert. Right, and I have some dessert to try. Now, let me give you a closer look at this because it's something a little unusual that I haven't even heard about. But the person told me it's an actual trend that's really popular everywhere right now. So let me give you a closer look at what I got for dessert. Okay, and this is it. It's called a milk cake, which I've never even heard of before. But apparently this is really popular right now. So it's a cake that's in condensed milk. And this one has got some cream on top and Kinder Bueno. Let's see what it tastes like. Okay, so here it goes. Let's give this a bit of a try. So I did get a good deal on it, which I'll reveal a bit later on because they were kind of on offer, but that's what a milk cake looks like. So I think it's just your standard chocolate cake, but soaked in condensed milk, so I think it should be sweet. Let's try it out. You know what? That is really good. So the condensed milk there adds a milky, sweet, creamy flavour. So you get your standard chocolate cake, which can sometimes be a little bit stodgy and a little dry, but that is a really moist cake. Check that out. So the condensed milk adds a bit of a creamy, milky sweetness. I mean, who would have thought you can improve chocolate cake with cream? But I think you can. Just add some condensed milk. So this is like your cake with a custard, but instead of custard, it's a cold condensed milk. And maybe you'd think it doesn't work, but it does. So this one does come with some Kinder Bueno on top. So I think I need to do a combo bite with everything on it. The Kinder Bueno, the cake, the cream, and maybe some extra condensed milk. Here it goes. You know what? I think this might be the perfect dessert to go with the food here, because a lot of it is fried, it's hot, it's meaty, it's heavy on flavors, salt and pepper and oil. But this, because it's cold, it kind of adds a bit of a freshness to cut through all that fattiness. And the contrast here of the sweet flavor as opposed to the spicy and salty of the mains, it works perfectly. What an incredible meal that was. It was all delicious. And what a surprise the milk cake was. Who would have thought it would be that good? And it all came at a pretty good price too, which can't wait to tell you. But first, let's head back to Leeds. Made it through the barriers semi-okay. Now let's head on the train.
will be Lee.
Okay, so the cost of the 2 beef tacos with chips from Birria Boyz was £10 exactly. The cost of the salt and pepper box number 3 from Bobby's Salt and Pepper was £10.90. And then the milk cake, well, that was on offer. It was either 1 for £6 or 2 for £7. And I think that's a no-brainer. So I went for 2 for £7. So I have 1 for later. Plus, I couldn't finish all the food, so I've got leftovers for later as well. I've got a full-on meal to have for dinner tonight. What a great food court that was. I got there pretty early, so some of the places weren't open yet. But by the time I left, they were all open and the place was absolutely packed, full of people. So what did you think of the Rate My Takeaway Kitchen food court? Comment down below your thoughts. And if you like the video, click on the thumbs up icon below and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one.